I don't know where I want to start. I don't know where I want to start, but I know I got to start. So, one thing that's going on in my mind right now is how messed up it is that by being on social media, I don't know, I guess you just kind of like get hit more into the reality of like, you become more aware of, I don't know, what people probably think of you, or it keeps you in this like perpetual state of like either negativity or something, because I noticed that a lot of people, including myself, have acknowledged how kind of like strange it is for us to put ourselves out there on the internet, whether we're actually trying to promote something, or having a business, or just sharing artwork, or expressing ourselves in any kind of way. And we kind of like, we want people to react, interact, respond, show love, share, support, but we also, but we don't get that. So it's kind of like, it'll keep you in a state of like, oh, people don't like me. And it'll expose, I guess, in your mind, like, okay, like this person, it's like someone like me, like, I don't want to keep tabs. I hate keeping tabs. Like, there's a lot of times where I'll post stuff and I'm not even paying attention. I don't feel like paying attention, nor do I want to pay attention to who is looking at what or who's liking what and whatnot. However, on other days, maybe I will. I just think that the effects of social media and expecting people to do certain things, having these expectations, is not ridiculous. It's not asking for too much, but I do think that if you always focus on the negative aspect of like, oh, this is the account that I use and people don't interact with me, and that just means that, you know, they're fake and all this, it doesn't really get you anywhere. So I think that you should figure out a solution. Personally, me, I like to filter out my accounts every few months or so, kind of like unfollow accounts that I don't care about anymore, or I'll go to the extent of removing followers if we don't mutually do anything and I have no reason to have them. Or I think that having a new account, new social media, or just kind of going to a new platform where you know that you'll be appreciated would make more sense than to stay in a place where you know people are looking but they never interact. And don't get me wrong, it makes sense to want people to interact with you, especially people that you know in person, because it's social media. Also, people are not obligated to do anything to do anything in general, right? I can see both sides of it. And I think that the truth of the matter is that a lot of people, if they really fucked with you, then yeah, they're going to at least minimum like, right? However, like I said, if you get stuck on numbers, you get stuck on that, and you just keep that internal monologue in your head that people are fake and all this extra stuff, and it's just not going to help you. So make a new account, do something different so you can filter out that. And I think that sometimes social media does kind of reflect everyday life, because there will be a lot of people watching, seeing you, may even be in your face, but they're not going to do anything. They're not going to acknowledge, say hello, say, oh, I like that. Oh, you're doing a good thing. Keep doing that, whatever. They're not going to do that. You know, sometimes social media is kind of reflective of how people would act in real life, I think. So I think the biggest takeaway is like, detach, don't take things personal. make whatever it is that you do, be proud of it, and stop wanting validation from external people, from an external source. Stop seeking validation from that. And please understand that people are going to be fake regardless. So even sometimes, like, people, even if they were to interact with your stuff, they would still also be fake. And that's one thing I have to remind myself and had to learn later on. People will also be in your face, also be doing certain things, but then, you know, they'll portray themselves as like someone that cares, but then they'll also not really like you. They just want to stay relevant or in the know or like keep tabs on you too. So I think it's good that we are aware of this, but we have to just kind of like be in our own world, you know, and find a way to where you're happy with whatever platform you choose to post on. Find something or create a new account or something to where you're not expecting people from high school or people that have followed you for a long time to interact with what you're doing, which pretty much means to find your audience, right? Your community, pretty much. That's what I dislike about it. You have to understand that even in person, you'll still have to detach from people's actions, just like you have to detach from people's actions on social media. Social media probably, if anything, is actually more accurate about how people feel about you. Because, shit, they might be someone that actually you see often, but they don't interact on whatever you're doing, right? And that's, like I said, no one's obligated to do that. In person, though, if we didn't have social media, it'll be like, they might actually not fuck with you either, not really like you, but then they might actually be in your face. A lot of times people are, oh, that's nice, or congratulations, or all this extra shit, and they don't really even like you. People do it all the time. So I think that's one of my gripes with the world, or people are always being fake. Doesn't even matter. I refuse to let that stop me from being myself. I refuse to let that stop me from being who I am, showing up for myself, enjoying my life, loving my life. I refuse for that to affect me. So it really is. Second is it's kind of segueing into what I originally said about people. I think someone like me, I easily absorb things, people, conversations, interactions. Not because I want to, I can't help that. I can't help that I can remember small details. I can't help that I can feel things on a more intense level sometimes. I can read into things deeper than the surface level. I can like sense things even before I really understand what that means. In doing so, I have to practice also like the same method that I was saying, detach from people and having certain expectations for people that you're not even close to. People that have not shown you any kind of side to them that gives you a reason to think this person owes me this version of themselves that's loyal and kind in my face and behind my back. I'm not saying approach life in a negative way, but you have to make assumptions. You kind of have to be practical about the average human being. The average human being, they're not really, they could easily, people are allowed to be human, allowed to feel how they want to feel. But a lot of times people are just, based on my experience, you'll think that it's this and it's not that, So please don't use the term friend lightly, right? Don't go out of your way. Don't put these high expectations on people that have not given you a reason to put those high expectations on them. People are just conveniently in your face because of the environments that y'all meet. So please, just keep that in mind. People you can still like them, they can still like you, but if you're someone who really is true to themselves, real and authentic, then a lot of times you're also showing up in that way, not with just yourself, but with other people. But a lot of other people are not showing up like that. So you have to be able to have the discernment, ask for the discernment, practice listening to your intuition, practice just being quiet, still when interacting with people, to be able to determine, if this person is someone who's just kind of like conveniently interacting with you for the convenience of it, for whatever reason, or if they are really trying to connect. Connecting is completely different from someone just in your face, talking about nothing. That is socializing. That is conversing. That is useful. It's helpful. It's great. But if you really want to connect, that takes longer. It takes more intention behind it. And you're seeking to love them. Or you don't even really have to seek that. It just kind of naturally happens because of your desire to want to get to know them, respect them, and love them. So connection is also not taxing. Like you seeking like real connection should not be taxing. That should be real, authentic, effortless, in a way to where you're able to just be who you are and they are also who they are. That's what I think. I've never really gotten to be super, super close with a lot of people, mainly people in my intimate romantic relationships. And I'm just now getting to the point and practicing like real intimacy that has nothing to do with lust, nothing to do with sex, nothing to do with superficial, surface level things, just strictly, how do I feel? Does this person resonate with me? How does this person make me feel? Does this feel like a real connection? And I mean with anybody, not worried about, I mean with women, men, whatever, opportunities, whatever, everything. Can I connect with this? Is this gonna make me feel good? Is this gonna uphold and keep me in the state of alignment, in the state of, loving myself? Is this gonna keep me in a state of hiding myself? Is this opportunity or this relationship or connection going to further make me embrace who I am? Is it going to be a good example for me? Is it going to be something that I actually am inspired by, versus feeling like, oh, I gotta filter myself so much. After these even past 3 months, I'm still filtering myself. I'm still scared or not scared, but I still don't feel like I can really be seen, respected, acknowledged, you know, understood. So someone like me, it's not easy, but I refuse to just kind of like you say any mantras that I don't want. I like being realistic about my human experience, but at the same time, I like being optimistic about it too. So anything that I don't want, I just won't be around it. Anything that I feel like, oh my God, I'm sacrificing myself, I'm compromising so much just to be here. I'm not, you won't find me there. I don't have the time for that. I don't believe in wasting my time. I'm not wasting my time. I love my time. So, we, I, I'm just talking to myself, have to detach, because I literally figured, I don't know what it is, but like there's times where like I'll have an interaction with someone. In the moment, it's like, yeah, I'm I feel like this is cool. Like in the moment of me having an interaction with someone that I see frequently, and it could be a very short interaction. It's like, yeah, this is cool, I like this person, I like what's happening here, I like what we're talking about. But then after the fact, I'll like go home and I'll just be like, I'll feel iffy. And I think that that's just my body, like, it's like I had to ask myself, like, am I like doing things in my head to where um am I doing something in my head to where I'm like doing what I did as a younger person, like kind of feeling like I'm purposely making myself come off as like an outcast, like, oh, I just can't, people just are naturally gonna find like a flaw in me and whatever, so that makes me self-conscious or, whatever. And I've felt like that before, but I don't feel like that as much as an adult. So here I am, like, just trying to introspect and reflect on, like, why do I feel this way? Like, even in person, it seems like it's fine. But then when I go home, I'm just like, this small interaction is not like deeply affecting me, but it's making me feel indifferent. It's making me feel like, oh, this person might be like thinking of me in this way. And I'm like, where's this shit coming from? So I'm once I'm like, when I say thinking of me in this way, I just mean negatively, right? Like they might be judging me or jealous or envious or something to do with I don't like you, but I still interact with you and pretend that I like you or some shit like that, right? So I have to trust that I'm not making that shit up and that that's not my anxiety or my fear. I have to trust that that's actually my gut, I have to trust that I'm psychic. I have to trust that I'm not making this shit up if I know that I'm not purposely trying to do that, like have these thoughts, right? So I just feel like I should know the difference. Or I'm trying to make sure I understand the difference. But I really do feel like that portion of being who I am is hard because it's like, I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to feel like, damn, like people that I talk to, it don't matter what it is. Like, I'm being myself, I'm being genuine, but then like they're not. I rebuke that shit. I don't want that in my life. Um, but then like I said, I don't want to, it's like a narrative that I used to have as a teenager, you know? Like in high school, it's like I kind of felt outcasted, Or like too different and like weird, like that weird shit. It's like I'm not purposely trying to be weird. I'm not trying to imitate anything. It's just that I know that I'm different, right? I know that I'm that. And even as an adult now, it's like, okay, well, neurodivergent. It's one of those things to where it's like, damn, I know I'm different. And I don't like being around people that I feel like I can sense It's so weird though, because it's like I want to pick up on it in the moment, but I think if I pay attention a little bit more or I stay a little bit more quiet, I can probably like tell. And I think that I'm right. It's just that I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right, but at least it's not like, oh my gosh. I'm so glad that I don't get like too close to people though, because people really get so close to you, and then you'll literally be like, like you'll wait till it might be like 6 months or like a year go by, and you still haven't even like, you still don't know nothing about like subtle signs, right? Whew. That used to be me. That used to be me. Like I'm like, but at the same time, I've always been like detached enough to like not let people get under my skin, or I've always like allowed myself enough space away from people. So I've never been codependent. Like I'm not codependent. So I've never been like seeking that external validation, but there was still a reason why I was around them, right? Like some type of stimulation I'm getting. Versus them, there might be a little bit more codependent. But anyways, I just I don't know, man. It just makes me want to be a little bit more of a bitch, but not in like a way to where I'm purposely like being that to people who didn't deserve it, but just more so like I'm gonna fuck with myself so much to the point where I'm gonna deter people are that don't like me but want to show up as if they like me. You know? Like I know I'm not tripping. I know I'm not tripping. I know I'm not tripping. And I want to fuck with myself so much to where I deter anybody that just got foul intentions, like the intentions that they want to come through and try to pick, like they want to lower my self-esteem, lower things. They want me to be on their level. They hate themselves. I deter that. I'm deterring that. Fuck. That's crazy. I don't know. I guess I had to get that out because I kept thinking I felt like this about that person. Like when I first met them, I was like, I don't think they like me. I don't think they fuck with me like that for real. Cause it's like in their body language. It's not necessarily like what people say. It's just in their body language. So, and then I kind of just get over it because I'm like, people gonna do what they do. Like, people can grow on you easily. Like, you'll fuck around and be like, oh, I hate this person, but I like this person too. Like, I've done that too. Like, it's weird. Like, people will sit up here and grow on you, and you stay around them. You whole time you still never like them, but then you so used to them because that's just what happens. So somehow you still ended up loving them. It's like that. That gray area is so tricky sometimes, but I'm strict too. So I'm not afraid to like get uncomfortable anymore, but I think that as long as I'm being myself, it's going to make people uncomfortable, and I'm fine with that. So that's my goal. I don't want to probe at people, but I literally want to be so comfortable in my skin. It deters people that are not comfortable in theirs, that try to bring me down. I want to be so comfortable in my skin that people don't even try it. People can't even get close to me that don't love themselves and don't have good intentions towards me. That's how comfortable I'm going to be in my skin for the rest of my life. I'm going to be so authentic and so real with myself, within myself, to the point where people that are not comfortable are forced to be inspired by me, forced to approach me. Like you're gonna break down. Like when you come over here, you're gonna break down because I'm gonna be able to see through everything you do. I'm not even gonna give you what you want me to do. You're not gonna get the performative version of me, not the one that's willing to fake it and smile for no good reason. I'm talking about I'm going to be so unmasked it's gonna scare people. It's gonna be like, oh my gosh, like she is too comfortable. She loves herself so much. Wow. I'm scared to even come over there because I know that I'm gonna get my shit rocked just from interacting with her. I'm gonna be able to see through people so damn good, have so much good discernment. Yeah. So saying all that, I think that another thing is like I am one of those people that simultaneously I am one of those like, oh my gosh, once I peep some shit, I want to disappear. But if I know I can't necessarily stop seeing you, or like I still have to see you or whatever, and it's not because I want to, then fuck it. Every time I see you is an opportunity for me to be more of myself. So if, you're being performative in front of me, then, and I don't feel like being performative in front of you, then I just won't. I'm going to just straight face. I'm going to just, if I ain't got nothing to say, I'm going to just, like, there's no reason for me to fake the funk. So every time I'm in an environment where I'm around people that I feel like are being performative around me, and it's not the good performative, not the, like I'm trying to be in good spirits. I don't care what it is. I want to show up in good spirits. Like that's not even performance. That's like, that's a choice. Like I'm choosing to be in good spirits. That's the performative that I feel like that's fine. But the performative that's fake as fuck, deriving from bullshit, we're not doing it. I'm not doing it. I could still eat, like, even when I put up on a mask, my mask still gonna be real. This mask is like different mask. Jim Carrey in this bitch, okay? I'm like, whatever mask I put on is still gonna be real. It's still gonna be cool. It don't even matter. It don't even matter for real. But yeah, I gotta detach from how people make me feel. I just have to be in observation mode rather than reaction or impact and being impacted and emotional about it. I haven't even had a reason to be emotional about this. It's just something that I'm observing about myself and about other people. So I think that it serves me right to be quiet, listen, let people show them who they are, But yeah, there's like nothing to really. It's not a lot to say. It's not a lot to say. We gotta all shut the hell up. I keep saying we. I will continue to listen more than speak. All right.